Hey dear friends, welcome to my channel. This is Gerard Beya for Aunet.Spanish, the Spanish language learning channel. And so it's been a very long time since I made my last recorded lesson, lesson number 86. And actually, it was 4 months ago, and that's how long I haven't been studying Spanish. So I have to say, I was kept busy with other things, all the projects, and so on. So the only thing I did was to meet with one Spanish speaking friend, and we just had one evening together, chatting and so on in Spanish mostly. So, guys, I remember that I was trying to catch up and revise what I have done, what we have done together before, and we stop at 11, Unit 11. And so, of course, I did more units than this. I'm checking now. Yes, I think I stopped here at Unit 27, but there are more than 80, I think 80 units on Duolingo. So that's the smartphone application I'm using. So everybody who watches, who learn together with me, they know that I'm using this application. It's for free. I'm not being paid to promote it, but I'm just telling you my honest opinion. So I think it's a nice application. You can also buy, you know, but for a small fee, you can have it ad free, which is quite practical, and maybe you get all the features also. Definitely, not maybe, but definitely. So I see there are more than 100 units, and I'm just yeah, I'm just trying to understand how much more I have to study to finish Spanish language on Duolingo. It looks like a lifetime, yeah, because it's so long. Yes, they have more than 150, 160. Don't tell, yeah, they're still in 160, 170. So, wow, they have 171 units. Believe it or not, that's a hell of a lot. That's a heck of a lot, I should say. Yes. So, well, since I haven't been studying, I haven't practicing. Of course, I remember something. I have been learning Italian, however. So what should I do? Like, should I do all the units one by one? I think it's gonna be a waste of time because certain things I definitely remember. And so, how can I just refresh my Spanish? How can I do this? Well, I guess I can check this one, the guidebooks. So, for example, guidebook one, form basic sentences. Un niño come manzanas. We know this. A boy eats apples. Una niña bebe.
Una niña bebe agua.
Bebe agua. So the B is pronounced as V here. La mujer bebe leche. La mujer, the woman, drinks milk, leche. El hombre come pan. Y tú comes pan? It's a question. Sí, yo como pan. So comer, it's the infinitive verb the infinitive verb for to eat. Yeah. And also, one nice tip is that in Spanish you have genders, of course, masculine or feminine, and often nouns end in O if they are masculine and A if they are feminine. So el niño, la niña, for example. Notice how you use el if the word is masculine and la if the word is feminine. So these are articles, of course, and definite articles. So now there's a nice tip here. I think there are four. So this is a very famous saying. I think, therefore I am. And this is from uh, Descartes, a French philosopher, known as Descartes in English, I guess. So in English, verb forms change depending on who's doing the action. And for example, we say I am, you are, and she is. This is just conjugation. Uh, yeah, plainly speaking. In Spanish, you do the same thing, so you conjugate the verbs. You have the subject. Here, it's very important if you don't know the personal pronouns. You have yo, tú, él, ella. So yo for I, tú for you, singular, él for he, ella for she. So the verb ser is the verb to be. So yo soy, tú eres, él es, ella es. Yo soy una niña, tú eres un niño. So niña, niño, this is a basic vocabulary. Niña is a girl, niño is a boy. And how to greet. So some greetings here. So hola, buenos días, adiós, buenas noches, hola, yo soy Juan. So a little bit how to present yourself. So yo soy Juan, mi nombre es Juan. So mucho gusto, nice to meet you. Es un placer, it's a pleasure. So we know these things, mucho gusto, and so on. Now, what about the phonetic, sorry. So speech sounds. So in Spanish, they have, of course, their own phonetic system. So Spanish pronunciation is easier than you think. In general, Spanish vowels are always pronounced the same way. In general, so the vowels, yes, talking about the vowels, not the consonants. So, for example, the A in adios, so it's a. Adios sounds the same as in a in cama, which is the bed. So, la cama. Cama. Adios is just goodbye.
Adios.
Goodbye.
Cama.
Cama as in father, and now you just have, the common sound in English with English words for examples. So leche, like in set, and for like in niño. Leche is milk, by the way. Niño is a boy. We already saw that, as in Lisa. And O for como, it's as.
Como.
It can be como as, I think. It's not como how because there is no accent. And there is also the verb, actually, the verb comer, conjugated to the first person, singular person, which is I, yo como. And the U, which is not here the last vowel that we will see, mucho gusto. Mucho gusto, it's like, encantado, mucho gusto, nice
Mucho
to meet
gusto.
you. So encantado, mucho gusto, es un placer de conocer, le, yeah. As in Jude. I think in English, British English, they say Jude. They don't say dude. Oh, dude, man, dude. I don't know. No, it's not Jude. It's also Jude. Jude is something else. It's the song, Hey Jude. And it's written with a J, by the way. Alright, so that was Unit 1, and there's really nothing new, and I guess we can move on to Unit 2. We're just now revising, and of course, certain things we will have to learn again, and hopefully we'll come across the whole vocabulary. But let's move on with Unit 2, and we already spent like 10 minutes now just revising Unit 2, so it takes time. So let's not waste any time, and let's keep learning. So go around in a city. Yo necesito un taxi. I need a taxi. Yo necesito, necesitar. Necesitar is to need, and yo necesito, that's how you conjugate it to the first singular person. El taxi está aquí. Estar, it's another verb, to be. So just like in Italian, there are two verbs for to be. In Spanish also, they have two verbs. You remember that. And el taxi está aquí. Aquí is here. So the taxi is here. ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde is where? ¿Dónde está tu pasaporte? Where is your passport? Pasaporte. ¿Dónde está tu pasaporte?
¿Dónde está tu pasaporte?
Yeah. Notice that we're talking about your passport. There is no accent on tu. If you put an accent on the you, it will mean you, not the possessive adjective. Mi pasaporte está en el hotel. So my passport is in the hotel. And un boleto a Santiago, por favor. Un boleto, it means a ticket. And that's right. So I think everything is clear. And so what we're gonna do now. So here's a tip. Esta versus es. So we have seen esta and es because we know that there are two verbs for the verb to be in Spanish. So estar and ser. Esta and es both mean is. So what's the difference? If you want to say where someone or something is located, use está. For example, el taxi está aquí. So it's kind of temporary because the taxi, of course, is going to drive away and it's not gonna be here forever. So you always use está when you're talking about something that's only temporarily true. Temporary. Temporarily. Yes, temporarily true. That's how you say temporary. It's not temporarily, but temporarily. True. Yeah. El hotel está cerrado. Cerrado means closed. Yeah, it's closed. And so, meanwhile, es is used to describe the qualities of a person or thing. So, why do we say el hotel está cerrado and not el hotel es cerrado? Because it's temporary, like you understood, yeah, by the previous statement. So meanwhile, s is used to describe the qualities of a person or thing. So we have an example here for you. El taxi es amarillo. Amarillo means yellow. So the taxi is yellow. So it is a permanent characteristic of the taxi. So that's why. So you'll get used to it if you're completely new and you just discovered my channel. So you can find my Facebook page. So it's aunet.spanish. Subscribe to it so that you don't miss on the coming lessons. So order food and drink. Una mesa para dos, por favor. So una mesa, it's a table. Para dos, un, dos, tres. So you know how to count. So for two, it's para dos. Per favor. No, sorry, not per favor. This is Italian. Por favor. So una mesa para dos, por favor. And you have also un café, por favor. Un café. A coffee, please. And con or sin leche. So con is with, sin it's without, or it's or. Leche, you know, it's a milk. So with or without milk, con or sin leche. Yo quiero una ensalada. Ensalada. Insalata. No. Insalata. In Italian. Sorry, in Italian it would be insalata, but here it's ensalada. Yo quiero una ensalada. This is a new verb here for those who didn't study Spanish at all. So to want something, yo quiero, so something, algo. Querer. I think that's the infinitive form of the verb to want. So querer. And I want a salad. It's yo quiero una ensalada. We can listen
Yo
to.
quiero una ensalada.
Yes. Con tomate. So this is how you say tomato. Whereas in Italian you have pomodoro, but here you have tomate. Un sandwich. Yes, sandwich also in Italian is panino, but here is just sandwich. De pescado. De pescado, also not the same word for fish, por favor. So un sandwich de pescado, al pesce, it would be in Italian. So quite different, right? And tip, a sandwich of fish. In English, we might ask for a cup of coffee. In Spanish, you do the same thing. So a cup of coffee, una taza de café,
Una taza de café.
una taza.
Una taza de café.
So it's not taza like in Spanish. So the Z is pronounced as as an S. Yeah. So una taza de café. You also use de when you're describing what type of food something is. So un jugo de naranja. Jugo is a juice. So de naranja, naranja is orange. So a juice of orange basically. But in English we say an orange juice.
Un jugo de naranja.
All right. So we've learned a bit of the grammar and how to make complex sentences. It's not so basic after all, but well, we did it all. And of course, if we are not using our Spanish, we forgot a lot. But we have to keep going. We have to press forward, and that's how it is. You have to keep using your knowledge, otherwise you're just gonna forget everything. Unit 3, we're going to talk about family and what else? Family, shop and clothes. Okay, sounds interesting. Yeah, so describe your family. My family is grande, so mi familia es grande, my family is big, mi familia es grande. ¿Tú tienes un hermano? It's a question, so ¿tú tienes un hermano? Do you have a brother? Sí, tengo un hermano y una hermana. So hermano and hermana, we know brother and sister. Nothing hard here, and just as a reminder, the verb to have is tener. So yo tengo, tú tienes, él, ella, tiene, tenemos, and so on. So yo tengo una hija, hijo, hija. So hija is daughter, hijo is son. Tú tienes un perro. Tú tienes un perro. Perro is a dog. And sí, un gato e un perro. Gato, it's a cat, just like in Italian, but with double T. And perro is a dog in Spanish. All right, let's move on. And here is how you ask questions in Spanish. We have already seen a couple of questions, but just for you to understand how to construct the questions, asking questions in Spanish is easy. So just change the pronunciation of any statement to a question by lifting your voice at the end. So, tú tienes un perro, tú tienes un perro, it's just a statement. But if you say, tú tienes un perro,
¿Tú tienes un perro?
so you have to raise, your voice at the end. The intonation has to rise. That's how you make questions, basically. No need to add or reconstruct and so on. So it's very easy. Notice that all questions in Spanish begin with an upside down question mark, and that's something new for those who are not acquainted at all with the Spanish language and syntax. So yes, diacritical marks like question marks. So in Spanish they have a couple of interesting and unique um, diacritical signs. Let's move on. Tip two versus two. So I've already mentioned this before because we had two your, and accent marks are very important in Spanish and can be really useful. In Spanish, a word might have a different meaning depending on whether it does or doesn't have an accent mark. So, for example, when tu has an accent, it means you. For example, tú tienes un gato. And do you have a cat? Without an accent, tu means your. So, tu gato es grande. It is pronounced the same, I guess. Yeah. Let's see.
¿Tú tienes un gato? Tu gato es grande.
Yeah, it's pronounced the same. It's just written differently for to differentiate them. But the context also is to be taken in consideration, of course. Yeah. Shop for clothes. So that's the last part of this guidebook. Yo quiero una camisa. So camisa is a shirt. So yo quiero querer. It's to want. So yo quiero una camisa verde o azul. So here we will deal a little bit with the colors. Los colores, the colors. So verde is green, o azul is blue. Una camisa verde, a green shirt, and yo necesito un vestido rojo. We have met the verb necesitar. So necesitar before, to need. So yo necesito un vestido. It's not vestito but vestido. It's a dress. So vestito is Italian, vestido is Spanish. Yo necesito una cartera. Cartera, it's a purse, and gris o marron.
¿Gris o marrón?
Marron. It's not marrone, but marron. Okay. Grigia. Grigio. Italian, yeah. Tip. Adjectives. In Spanish, adjectives usually, well, this is actually the final part of this guidebook, and we have revised a lot of things, guys, so that's great. But just look at this. You have, just look at the colors, yeah. You will see azul, roja. Yeah, this is all the colors, but we have seen marron, we have seen gris, we have seen verde, we have seen what else? Rojo we saw, roja is the same color. Yeah, gris, marron, verde, azul, rojo, amarillo. Also, we have seen the taxi. Not in this unit, but in previous one. So, what about the adjectives? Adjectives are very important. Usually come after the noun. So in English, we will say a blue jacket, a blue dress, but in Spanish, it's different. So the adjective comes after the nouns. So you have un vestido azul. Azul or azul?
Un vestido azul.
Azul. It's not azul, it's azul. So the Z is pronounced as an S here. Una camisa roja, a red shirt. And un reloj caro. Reloj, it's a watch, whereas in Italian it's orologio. Here is just a reloj. Caro, it's expensive. Barato, it's cheap. So un abrigo, capotto in Italian. Barato, so cheap. Right, so you put all the adjectives after the noun. I think we cannot be more clear, or should I say clearer? Yeah, clearer is better. You don't say more clear, but clearer than this. And well, I'm looking at my reloj, and I see that we have now covered 3 units in 25 minutes. So let's see if we can. Let me open the Unit 4 guidebook. If it's not too long, I guess we can do it. Yes, we can do it. So what is it about? So it's about using the present tense, talk about school and so on. So let's revise it. So this is a big revision actually. So lesson 87 in my playlist, Spanish language learning. So you can find me on YouTube. So Gerard Beya. Explore grammar tips and key phrases for this unit. We have the first tip. Let's talk about present tense, guys. So all verb endings change depending on who's doing the action. We have the subject on the left and the verb on the right. So the subjects, the pronouns, the personal pronouns, you have yo, tú, él, ella. And by now you're used to it, you're used to them, I should say. But the verb we're gonna observe now is the verb to speak, to talk.
Hablar.
Hablar, yes, exactly. So yo hablo, tú hablas, él habla, ella habla. Pay attention, guys, that the h is silent in Spanish. So hablo, hablas, habla. And hablamos, of course, nosotros, vosotros, and so on, and ellas, ellos. Key phrases talk about school. So, yo quiero estudiar español. I want to study español. Estudiar, it's another verb. So, estudiar. Studiare in Spanish, in Italian, but estudiar in Spanish. Querer, to want. Yo quiero. And yo necesito leer, to read. So, leer un libro. Leggere in Italian. So, tú estudias medicina, medicina. So, tú estudias medicina? It's a question, so we have to raise our voice at the end. So, do you study medicine? No, yo no estudio medicine. So, estudiar, so you see how to conjugate it. Yo estudio, tú estudias, él, ella estudia. Yo no comprendo la pregunta. So, in Italian we say una domanda for a question, but una pregunta is a question in Spanish. That's how you say it. Yo no comprendo. Comprender is to understand. It's capire in Italian. So, yo no comprendo la pregunta. I don't understand the question. Yo no comprendo. It's not yo non comprendo. Also notice that, yeah, they just use no for negative sentences. So for negative sentences, exactly. Whereas in Italian they have this non. Yo non capisco, yo no comprendo in Spanish. Yo no escribo mucho. Here we have the verb to write. So escribir. Yo no escribo mucho. I don't write a lot. I don't write much. Yeah. Mucho, much. And yo no comprendo. So this is the next tip we're gonna look at. So my reloj is saying it's okay. It's easy to make a negative statement in Spanish. So simply say no before the verb. We have seen this, and that's exactly what I have pointed out. Yo no estudio inglés. I don't study English. Lo siento. I'm sorry. So lo siento. Scusi. It's gonna be scusi in Italian. Yo no comprendo. I don't understand. So here's a tip. Quiero hablar español. I want to speak Spanish. So escribir, estudiar, leer, all of these verbs are linked to the school, and are all verbs form called infinitives. So we know they are infinitives because they are not conjugated. So yo quiero escribir, and in English infinitives always have the word to at the start, like to study, to read, and so on. But in Spanish they don't require any extra words. To say I want to study, just use You just say yo quiero estudiar. You don't say yo quiero something estudiar. It's just yo quiero estudiar. Yo necesito leer. Another example. I need to read. Alright, guys. So, yes, my reloj is saying that we have now spent 20 minutes and 20 seconds. I think that's enough for one lesson. I don't want to make the lesson too bulky. And, especially because it has been 4 months since my last recorded lesson. So this is lesson 87. So I really hope that yes, that was a good refreshing course, and so we revised a lot of things. So guys, I'm gonna put it on Facebook on my page, Spanish, so you can find it there. It will be linked to the video on YouTube, so you will be redirected there. So subscribe to my channel Jirabe on YouTube, and also like my page so that you have everything. You're alerted, you're notified every time that I have a new lesson for you. I'll keep you motivated, busy, and soon you will see the results and you will be speaking Spanish in no time. Grazie, not grazie, sorry, it's not Italian but Spanish. So muchas gracias, amigos, compañeros, compañeras. Nos vemos, nos vemos, sí. Nos vemos a pronto. No, a pronto. I think we don't say hasta pronto. Hasta pronto. Hasta luego. Hasta pronto. Hasta. Sí, hasta pronto. I think you also say pronto, yeah? I forgot my Spanish, guys. This is scary. But anyway, so adios. Hasta pronto.